Hi, it's time for March Book Madness, which is where some of the best books published in the past year compete for your vote for the overall winner. And today I want to read to you some of the start of Millionaires for the Month, which is about two boys who end up finding a lot of money, and when they return it, the lady who gets it decides to let them compete to spend $5 million in 1 month. You have to think about how you would go about doing that, but she put some rules in place. You can't buy a house, can't buy expensive cars. So if they pull it off, they get a big prize. Chapter 1, Tuesday, October 26th. Felix Rannells. The 7th grade teachers of Sterling Middle School did not put any thought into the important task of assigning field trip partners. Their poor decision-making had tethered Felix Rannells to Benji Porter for an entire day. When Felix received his assignment at 6 a.m., he considered faking an illness. Something tough to prove, like a toothache. But his mom had already driven off. And the field trip was to the American Museum of Natural History in New York City, a place he'd always wanted to go. So, instead, Felix climbed the bus steps and took the inside seat next to Benji. Felix tried to pass the 2 hours by reading, while Benji tried to entertain everyone by offering to do stupid tricks for money. For $1, I'll eat gum off the bottom of the seat. For a quarter, you can draw on my back with a Sharpie. For $10, I'll moon that tractor trailer. Benji wasn't making much. He earned $1 off Aiden Rosman and a lot of ews from everyone else. Ideally, Felix should have been paired with someone who respected rules, like a teacher. Or better yet, no partner at all. He liked to be alone, or maybe he was just used to it. Was there really a difference? Benji and Felix knew each other, of course. They were in Mrs. Chenoweth's homeroom, and they both played basketball. Felix a point guard and Benji a center. Benji's nickname on the court was Barney, not that Felix would ever call him that, because he was the biggest guy out there, and he was always smiling. Benji had wavy brown hair, braces, and zits, and would probably grow a mustache before they were out of middle school. And like the purple dinosaur, Benji was kind of awkward. "Hey, buddy," Benji turned to Felix. "I'll give you $1 if you call Miss Chenoweth Mommy for the rest of the day." Felix shook his head, regretting again not pretending to be sick when he'd had the chance. Now it was too late. The bus pulled up in front of the museum, and the students were reminded to stay with their partners at all times. This resulted in Felix spending the morning as an unwilling participant in a 3-hour game of hide-and-seek where he was always the seeker. Benji accidentally joined another school's group. He went into the bathroom without permission. He even set off an alarm when he tried to duck behind a woolly mammoth. And approximately every 30 seconds, Miss Chenoweth warned Benji, and by association Felix, to behave. By lunch, Felix needed air and a break. Miss Chenoweth seemed to read his mind, allowing them all to eat across the street in Central Park. The Central Park. As seen in movies? A chaperone handed out the bagged lunches everyone had pre-packed. Felix's contained a peanut butter sandwich and saltine crackers. His mom wouldn't be going to the grocery store again until the end of the month, so they were out of chips and granola bars. He unwrapped the sandwich and ate the larger half in a matter of seconds. But Benji didn't have a bagged lunch in the cooler. "I forgot it on the counter." Felix offered him some crackers. "Nah, I'm buying a pretzel." Benji pulled a wrinkled dollar from his jeans and headed toward a food cart. "You're not supposed to," Felix thought. The permission slip had clearly stated that students were forbidden from making any purchases. Felix glanced back at Miss Chenoweth, who was chatting with the math teacher and not watching Benji's lunch rebellion. Felix sighed and once again followed his partner. "How much for a pretzel?" Benji asked. $2. The pretzel man pointed to the sign. "I'll give you 1. That's all I got." "Well, then you ain't got a pretzel." The man turned his back, like he had another customer, which he didn't. "I guess I'll starve." Felix popped the last bite of sandwich into his mouth and was going to toss the plastic wrap when something caught his eye just a foot from the trash can. A red wallet with interlocking gold C's. 2 other kids walked right by it. For a second, he thought about leaving it and letting it be someone else's responsibility. But he picked it up. The leather was soft and smooth and somehow felt important. He glanced around the park. No one appeared to be searching for it. "What's that?" Benji came up behind him. "Someone's wallet." Felix handed it to Benji. If he'd thought about it for even 2 seconds, he'd have realized this was a mistake. Benji immediately unzipped it and pulled out a $20 bill. "Score! Now we have lunch money." Felix flinched. "I'm witnessing a robbery." That is the first chapter of Millionaires for the Month by Stacey McNulty. You can get your copy here in the library.